Good morning, everybody. This is day 4 of my ankle in my aircast. As you can see, I am now up and... Can't see me? I am now up and around. As you can see, there's my aircast right down there. Yeah, I'm up and moving right now because, well, I need to get myself some breakfast. So that's what I'm doing right now. I got a couple questions, and while I was gone, you see that I cleaned myself up a bit, shaved, and got rid of the scrub. I grow hair very quickly, so. But yeah, I got myself some eggs, some peanut butter, and bread, and I'm gonna get some jam and some cheese and stuff like that. Get myself just a nice, wholesome breakfast, you know, because you know it's all good. Give me a second here. So while I was gone, I decided well, I guess not really decided. I looked at some of the comments and stuff like that, and I wanted to reply to some of the nice questions that I got. One of them was from a user by the name of Joe Music and Sound, who asked me, "What's my favorite game type, and why is that my favorite?" That's a mix between horror games and I don't want to say first-person shooters, but more like first-person adventure games, like Mirror's Edge for one thing. Like I already did a whole series based on, on Mirror's Edge, and that's like a first-person jump platforming game. So, but yeah, it's a mix between that and horror games because the reason I like those is because those first-person platformers really have a sense of depth and a sense of energy, you know. And story about my uncle. That's one of my favorite games, a first-person platformer, because it tackled the idea of basically jumping around from platform to platform, but using the mechanic of a grappling hook. So, like just like Mirror's Edge, where you're moving around in a big, wide open area, going whatever you want, but to go to a certain goal. That's what Story About My Uncle kind of felt like. You were basically going on this big, wide adventure, going to these different places, and it was like a big, vast world that you can explore. And it just when the characters interact with you personally looking in the camera, you have a sense of that you're involved a little more, rather than just doing third person. Like Dead Space or like Tomb Raider or something like that, which are also really good games. But yeah, like that's the reason I like it, is because it has a feel of interaction. There's a better sense of just a nice, what's the right word for it? Like just adventure. It's just adventure. And when it comes to horror, what I like about those games is that it brings out the truth in people. It brings out the reality of what that person is, especially if they haven't played a game before, because it shows their realistic sense of emotion, that you are able to see who they are from the inside. Because, like for me, especially when I'm playing scary games, you know, even if I've already seen the game before, it's always different when you experience it yourself, because even though you know it's coming, it's still a shock, because the scare is happening to you personally, to you know? So that's what it was like when I was playing those graveyard games. I've got more coming, so. Also, too, when it comes to those horror games, I'll get back to the breakfast in a second here. Like when it comes to the horror games, those bad dream games, like you get caught up in the moment and you don't remember, you don't expect it. Like you know it's coming, but when you're in the midst of having to do something, it goes away. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that gets the scare, like even just as effective as the scare becomes effective, just as you're playing it for the first time. And like the reason I like horror games as well, you can't see me. 1 second here. There we go. The reason I like horror games more is because, you know, there's a thrill. There's a thrill in it. And see, like, I can play horror games and I'm completely fine at the end of the day because, you know, I know they're just games. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with me, nothing wrong with my brain. And I know there's a lot of people who are like that too. They're not scared, because they know it's just a game. Like me in Dungeon Nightmares. Boy, oh boy. That's one game that I still have to beat, Dungeon Nightmares. That's a very good example. When I first started that game a long time ago, I did 2 parts of it, but I got so scared of it because I didn't know what to expect. And when it happened, it was just like, oh, okay, I need to warm up to this, because it's like jump scare after jump scare after jump scare. And for me, even though I do like horror games, the jump scare factor is kind of cheap sometimes. In Dungeon Nightmares it works. In other games, not so much. But Dungeon Nightmares is very effective on it, and I like it. I like Dungeon Nightmares, and Dungeon Nightmares is great. It's a great game, very inventive. And the person who's named K-Monkey on Twitter and YouTube, who made that game, is a genius for doing that, because he knew how to provide that sort of formula in regards to the game. Dungeon Nightmares 2 goes around the same thing, but it's a little more detailed, a little more finely detailed, and has a little more real world experience. So that's right. That's what I like in horror games. Another reason too is that it brings a sense of almost reality, because you get your sense of oh wow, you know, this can happen, and like in that moment, spur of the moment right there, your brain makes it think like, you know, it's a sense of like, you know, and it's a thrill, and it keeps the energy flowing. And it actually, when one gets scared in, say, like a movie or in a game or something like that, and they know it's not real, but it's made for entertainment. If I remember correctly, there's a scientific study that says that it actually releases more. Can't remember what it is, but it's what makes you happier. It's what makes you have a sense of more joy in you, because it's like it really releases some sort of chemical or pheromone from the brain, and that's what I like. That's what I like most of all, is that, you know, and I've always been a fan of scary games. I just never had the chance to play them because I was too young. Now I am old enough to play them, and I'm going to play a lot more of them. So, which is actually brings me to this. You guys want to recommend me some scary games? Let me know in the comments, because I want to play them. Specifically games that are free to download, downloadable games you don't have to buy, or games that are very cheap but are still very good. So, and with that said too, I mean, there's like, I know there's some downloadable games that are very good and they are scary. I'll probably check them out. Like some 8-bit games and some 16-bit games that are kind of based on the Asian Japanese games, like Misao and Witch's House, which I already have played. I'll play them again for you guys. I'll play them again for you guys just to show that, you know, I have played it. So I haven't played it for a while, especially Misao and Ib. Ib is another one. IB. I haven't played that game in a long time, so the scares are kind of like, I don't quite remember what they are. So they're probably going to scare me just as much as playing it for the first time. So, so yeah, those are the 2 games that I like, and those are my favorites. The other question I got was from someone called Savani, and the question was, if I shrunk down to the size of a bug, what would you do with me? Well, I know one thing I'd do with you. I'd stick you in my sandwich and eat you for breakfast. No, I'm kidding. I'd actually probably help you explore this new and vast world of being a tiny little insect, and make sure not to step on you, because I am tall. I'm 6 feet, so. But yeah, you know, some little help trying to eat some food or go explore a new world, just put me on your hand and just go boop, you know, that sort of thing. Okay, anyways, that was weird. Okay, so and also now I've gotten comments. And I've gotten comments and replies, you know, giving me still well wishes and sympathy. Thank you so much. The ankle is actually doing really well. The bruising has gone down. I still need to ice this baby, and we'll see what happens, right? So please, guys, send me questions. Day 5 is tomorrow. I'm pretty sure this video is going to be uploaded it a little earlier than it was yesterday. I do apologize for that. It also doesn't help that I was gone for most of the day too, so I'm away from internet connection, and the video wasn't able to get uploaded on time, so because it was uploading directly from my phone, that's why. So, and if you're wondering about these red marks here, I just have a skin condition. It's hereditary, so don't worry about it. Okay, let me know what you think of my beard, because I'm all clean shaven, and let me know also what you think in the comments, what you want me to play for games. Send me your Q&A as well, because these are a lot of fun. And I'm actually, as you know, I'm not sitting. I know I'm not sitting down. I should be having my foot up and iced, and I will as soon as I get some breakfast. So, you guys all take care of yourselves. Love you all. See you in the next video. And yeah, send me your comments. Send me anything. My links for all my web pages are in my previous videos. I just want to get this out as quick as possible, so I'm not going to provide a lot of information in the description below. Just let me know everything that you want to know, and I will answer them to you in my most honest opinion. Okay? This is between you and me. If you want me to answer a question, whatever you want. Right? Yeah. So without further ado, we're going to end this video on a high five, and see you, lovelies. High five.